You think your shotgun shells are expensive? That was just $45 that I put down range. Federal, TSS, and 10 gauge 3.5 inch magnums. Let's get into the video. This video is going to be a little bit different. If you know anything about me, if you follow me over on Instagram or Facebook, you know that I am an avid turkey hunter. There are two things in life that I know really well. That's turkey hunting and 22 LR. I have killed, good grief, probably 75 to 100 longbeards in my life. I have guided for probably about 50 successful hunts, and I have 5 grand slams under my belt. So I do know what I'm talking about when I'm referring to turkey loads and turkey hunting. But today it's going to be kind of a turkey hunting, turkey load video. Federal came out with TSS shot probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And as soon as these loads hit the market, it was a huge demand for them. If you know anything about the TSS, they are very expensive, but they perform probably better, or no problem, they perform better than any other shot shell on the market when talking about turkey hunting. And recently, Federal has opened up a custom shop. And in their custom shops, they are now loading some really interesting loads. For years, I've been shooting 12 gauge, either 3 inch or 3.5 inch, but now in their custom shop, they make 10 gauge, 3.5 inch Magnum TSS loads. Now these have 2 5/8 ounces of TSS inside of them, and they're traveling close to 1,100 feet per second. And to tell you a little bit about TSS, TSS stands for tungsten super shot. It is not tungsten, okay? It is tungsten super shot. It is 22% denser than tungsten, okay? Pretty dense, and 56% more dense than lead. These TSS loads have a lot more energy downrange and a lot more penetration than that of lead. People are killing turkeys at great distances with these bad boys. So they're $15 a shot at the custom shop, but you know, at the end of the day, I will spend $15 each and every time when I pull the trigger knowing that that bird is dead. Now I probably won't be hunting with 10 gauge this year. I'll probably stick with the 12 gauge, but who knows, I may do it. But I'm gonna stick some targets downrange at about 40 yards to show what they can pattern out of this Remington 10 gauge that I have. And we're also going to set up a target at 100 yards to see what kind of patterns we're getting. And I'm also going to set up some ballistic gel at 100 yards to see what kind of penetration that we're going to get. Never in a million years will I ever tell you, or even think about shooting a turkey at 100 yards. I just want to show you what kind of performance you can expect out of this 10 gauge with different loads of TSS. All right, I have the Remington SP10 Magnum right here. This is a 10 gauge. It is a very heavy shotgun. But on the front here, the choke that I'm using, this is the Jeb's choke. The constriction on this is 0.680. And it should do pretty well at this distance. For a 10 gauge, this is the tightest choke that Jeb's make. And if you do decide to shoot TSS, make sure you have the appropriate choke, because some chokes are designed for the TSS shot, okay, since it is such a dense material. So got a turkey down there at 35 yards, and I'm not gonna be using a lead sled. So I could use a lead sled on a 22 LR, but 10 gauge, 3.5 inch Magnum, nah, we'll just put it on the shoulder. So here we go. Let's see what the 10 shot does at 35 yards. Holy mackerel. If that was a turkey at 35 yards, I think I'd have done near took his head right off. So let's go take a look. I retrieved my target downrange, and I pulled a little bit to the right. If that was a turkey and I would have aimed probably an inch more to the left, it would have took its head off at 35 yards. And with those 10 shots that I was shooting, I don't know this for a fact, but it's probably going to be around 12 to 1,400 pellets in that number 10 shot, 10 gauge, 3.5 inch Magnum. But you see how tight the pattern was at 35 yards. Some people will think, hey, this is too tight of a pattern. Well, it all depends where you hunt. If you're hunting woods birds, your average shot's probably about 35 yards. But if you're hunting out in Missouri, someplace in Tennessee, Kentucky, you're hunting field birds and birds lock up at 55 yards or 60 yards, I would not hesitate for 1 second to pull the trigger on a bird at 60 yards with a pattern like that and with over, 1,1400 pellets. So I don't think we need to test anymore at 35 yards with the 10 gauge. I think we need to back up at about 100 yards and see what kind of pattern we get out of this particular Jeb's choke. And then we're going to shoot gelatin to see what kind of penetration that we can get into that gelatin at that distance. But that is crazy. I got some 7-shot TSS. I've got a target downrange at 100 yards. I'm probably going to have to aim about 14 to 16 inches above the target. Now, these do have the flight control wads, like all the Federal TSS besides the 410 loads in them, so it keeps those shots pretty well contained. But again, this is number 7 shot at 100 yards. All right, here we go. Whoo! Man, that'll loosen your teeth when you shoot it. But I definitely hit the target down there. Let's see what it did to it. All right, I got my target down range. I'm kind of impressed with this. That's a lot of pellets at 100 yards. So the ones that are right here on the spine that we're going to count, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We've got 15 number 7 shot on the bird's head and neck at 100 yards. So there's 2 right here in the brain. Well, the brain's actually right up here, but any of these shots right here would kill that bird. Now, not for 1 second am I ever telling you to shoot a turkey at 100 yards. I'm just doing this for science to see what these shotgun shells will do out of a 10 gauge, these 3.5-inch magnums. But the 7 shot would definitely take that bird at 100 yards. I'm gonna get some number 9 shot. There's no way, shape, or form would I ever try a 9 shot at 100 yards. I don't think the energy would be there to actually kill the bird, but 7 shot, it definitely would. But just for a pattern's sake, I'm gonna fire a number 9 shot downrange at 100 yards and we'll see what kind of pattern we can get. All right, these are number 9 shot TSS, 100 yards. And my shoulder's gonna be a little sore tomorrow, I have a feeling. It's not really that bad. This gun weighs a ton. All right, aim about 14 inches above it. Oh, yeah, that hurts a little bit. All right, retrieve the target downrange at 100 yards. This is the 9 shot. Much better pattern out of the 9 shot. 31 in the neck and head at 100 yards. Now, like I said before, I doubt very seriously that the 9 shot's gonna have enough energy at 100, but I know number 9 shot will have enough energy at 75 yards because I have seen it multiple times. But I just wanted to see what kind of pattern we would have with the number 9 shot out of this 10 gauge. Now I've got some ballistic gel at 100 yards. I'm gonna fire the number 7 shot, the most dense, the heaviest shot that we possibly have, what I tested the first pattern on. And I want to see what kind of penetration I get into that ballistic gel. If it only goes in a 1/2 inch, like this far, I know it's not going to kill a bird. But if it goes in over an inch, that's a dead bird for sure. So, all right, let me get this set up. Let's do some more shooting. All right, 100 yards. Number 7 shot in clear ballistic gel. Well, semi-clear. I've actually melted this down several times. Boy, it is hard to see it too from that distance. All right, aim a little high. Oh, I think I knocked it off of the box at 100 yards. Let's go take a look. All right, so let's walk on down here. Prove to you guys it's 100 yards, which I don't know why anybody would think I would lie about that, but plus a little back behind the scenes on my range. And there's my disc golf basket. Yes, I do play disc golf. I hope the gel didn't get too dirty, but I'm pretty sure if it fell in this woods, it's got really dirty. So I think I knocked it off. Yeah, I knocked it off of there. At least I know I hit it. But enough energy to knock it off of that box at 100 yards, that says something at least. Oh. All right, so which side did I shoot it from? Holy cow. All right, look at this. I don't know if you can focus. I shot it from this side. So look, those number 7 pellets went in 5 inches, 4 to 5 inches. This one's probably about 6 inches. So yeah, that will definitely have enough energy to take something out when talking about a turkey or waterfowl at 100 yards. I bet that's going to fall again. So what did we learn here? Well, we learned that $15 shotgun shells are pretty awesome. A lot of people don't want to spend $15 on a turkey load, and I get it, I understand it. You just want to go to Walmart, buy the cheapest thing. But when you're an avid turkey hunter like myself, and you may spend $2,000 to go on a hunt out west or to Texas to kill a Rio or kill a Miriam, and you spend $500 on a flight to get out there, then you have to rent a car, then you have your food expenses. Well, what is one shotgun shell for $15, knowing that between 0 to at least 65 or 70 yards with this setup, the bird is going to be dead. So I will take that each and every time. Guys, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Until next time, y'all be safe and keep linking.